Okay, so we are ready to go. There's a lot of noise here, and we are here at Holland Village Food Market. Very noisy, so we need to speak very clearly into the mic. There's lots of banging and so on, but we're gonna have hopefully the audio is gonna be isolated. So, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are from the world tuning in. Here with me is Benson Goh. I'm
Hello.
gonna have a chat with Benson today to explore the stuff that we are, I've known Benson for more than 20 years, Benson.
Yeah, I think so.
And both of us were not sketching maybe. But look where we are, right? God's great. Okay, anyway, let me maybe ask Benson to introduce yourself. Our channel really is about introducing sketchers in Singapore to the world. And so, Benson, talk to us about who you are, and then we talk about your journey in art. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So my name is Benson. I'm a father, two kids, one a teenager, 16, and my daughter is 11, one wife. Yeah. So, by profession, maybe that's not the best word. I'm actually a pastor for the last maybe 23 years. But my first profession is actually I'm a trained accountant in a public accounting firm. So that's
Nice.
Where we are at this
Alright,
stage
so
of life.
accountant and going to preaching God's word, and now exploring the creativity with art and so on, right?
Yeah.
I know you're doing a lot of other stuff as well with the art thing. So maybe we jump right into some of the questions that I want to ask you, right? But before that, maybe quick one about your journey so far. Like,
Yeah.
how's your art journey? Where do you start? Why do you start? And where you are?
Okay, I think quickly is that my background as a family, my dad is a craftsman. He is very good with his hands. He does design at this age of 83, 84. Yeah, he's still
Right.
helping the community do design and putting up decorations and stuff like that. So that's always in my family.
Right, right.
Art, creativity. One of my sisters is an architect, and that could have been the path that I've taken if I've not gone somewhere else.
Well, you became an accountant, so not an architect,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
both start with A.
Yeah, somewhere. So I remember in school, I love drawing, perspective drawing in
Right,
secondary school,
right.
and so I got proficiency for that. And so I enjoy that kind of fine line drawing kind of work. And of course, life catch up, put it off for a long time, and it's during the pandemic that really started me off once again in this sketching journey.
Right. I'm going to adjust the mic because there's a lot of background noise, just to turn away from the source a little bit. We are very near One Holland Village, where there's still a lot of construction going on because of all the new shops coming up. Anyway, so, I always ask about the 5M, right? And the first one is the easy one, right? I mean, it's about, if you want to do art, Oh, hang on. Let me just show you why there is that guy is just right there doing this. Never mind. We will have to make do with it. This makes it rough and tumble podcast. Okay. Materials is the easiest to start, right? So maybe if you want to show us what is your gear today, what are your sketching material and tools that you use, Benson? Why don't you show us, and then you can show it up, and then you can show the audience what you have.
I think when I first started is this morning I was just taking a group of seniors, all newbies in sketching, and I said that you can actually start your journey in sketching with just this morning $2.50.
Yep.
A sketchbook that costs maybe $1 plus. Yeah, by the way, this is Vitex sketch. I put it right in front to inspire me. And then a pen that is like a Uniball gel pen, 0.7, just for $1.
$2, maybe $1.50, whatever it is.
Yeah, so for $2.50 you can start, and that's actually where I started. Just a simple sketchbook and a pen.
Right.
So that's how I started. Then of course along the way I started investing a little bit more.
Better quality sketchbooks.
Yeah. But so far I found in terms of just general sketching and Stillman and Burns.
Yeah.
So I've got the Alpha series here, and then just a
One of
pocket
the best
size.
in the world, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Brought in by, I believe.
Arthur's used to be the company we used to run, but we no longer carry them.
Yeah. So this is what I first started using. And then recently I got another one when I finished this first. I got a little bit to share about this, how it started my journey.
Right.
And then later on I got this, which is a hardcover scene.
Yep.
And so now I'm using this. But in between, of course, for when sit down sketching and things like that, I bought this series, or rather this sketchbook from SPD.
Yep, SPD.
Yeah, SPD. Paper quality is
Very
not
good, yeah.
okay. So it's so in terms
Yeah,
of
the paper you can choose because
Yeah.
you can bring the paper and then they can bind it for you.
Yeah, I didn't know that at that time.
Yeah. So now
So now I'm using a Delta.
Delta series, slightly milkish color rather than plain white, right?
But I'm looking forward to start off with Pao Hong Academy. Sketchbook.
Yeah. No lah, can go to the artist quality lah.
Yeah.
It's still cheap actually. 100% cotton.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So
you
I
can
started
show.
off
Maybe
again
just
with,
show
simple pen.
Yeah. So you have your fountain pen. Your this is your
fine liner.
Sakura micro. Right?
Yeah.
And your so
just simple.
Simple.
I don't
nothing
really
complicated.
use pencil, so I just commit to lines and ink. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Did you start with pencil or you straight go to pen?
I think my first sketch I remember was at Toa Payoh. That was 2020 during the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
There was one day I was sitting at this garden that is now no more, and I said that I should just start. And this is my very first, in a sense, line work using just fine liner.
Right.
No pencil.
We'll go through some of these sketches later when we.
Sure.
Very good. So so material very simple. Colors minimal at this point. Pen. For now.
Watercolor. Yeah.
Right. I've seen your watercolor. Okay, so basic Cotman set. That's it.
Yeah. Then it's me at home, but
Very good. Simple. See?
Cheap.
You don't really need to. Well, not cheap is relative, but quality can be also cheap, right? If you get good value, but it's not. It doesn't cost that much money.
Easy on your pocket.
Yeah. So the second question. So that is on material. As you know, I like to think about the world of learning through 5 things. The first is MA, material. Second is ME, as in AEIOU, right? So the first letter is always M. So membership. Do you have people that you hang out with, that you go and sketch with, and that you consider? Maybe tribe is not the right word, but you're part of a group, right? Of some sort. Membership.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, here today when we are doing this recording, the USK Singapore is here.
USK is in Urban Sketching Singapore. Yeah,
Urban Sketchers Singapore. So I think that is when you join the Facebook group back then. That is of course the group that I make time to come as often as I can. Of course, with my daughter here today.
Yep.
I think that is really the community to be with. You learn, you relate, and you get to know people. So I think to me, it is more than art. Sketching is a language, the aesthetic language, and with language, communication comes in, community comes in. And that's where we learn to support one another. So that's the very first primary group. Of course, at that time we have this Facebook group because of the lockdown. So weekend sketches, of course, Singapore sketches is where we
the
relate.
one I run.
So that are the motivational groups that we learn together. So this morning, the last 1.5 years, I think, been helping with a volunteer with SALT Ministry, which is a Senior Adult Learning Transformation.
Oh wow, that's an interesting group.
It's mainly senior, so they have requested if I can help, start off this sketching group, interest group.
Oh wow!
So that's where I've been doing for the last 1.5 years. And this morning we have a group of new people starting the first time of the year. And I think that is also an avenue of getting people together in the community,
right?
Especially seniors, and then encouraging them to use their skill and talents and to help, in a sense, a better quality of life, age gracefully, but also to bring them together, to not in isolation, at the age as they begin to grow older, but to come together and relate through art. And I think that is something that, another group that I feel encouraged.
Is there an age to that or above?
Most of them are in the at least early 60s.
Okay, that's a very good.
70s.
Yeah. I mean, they still got a long way to go actually, and then making a creative activity as part of their life enhances, right? And that's so important actually for me, because it's about exploring the world, it's about exploring creativity in the person. But also, there's so much creativity in the world that we can explore through our sketchbook. So maybe a quick one about what did you cover this morning?
This morning, they are newbies first time. So basically, I sort of designed through my own experience and a series for introductory series called Open, OPEN.
Right.
So the first O stands for observe. observation, just basically learning,
Wow, well done.
teaching them how to look. It's the art of looking, observing.
Yeah.
And of course, you need light.
Yes.
And also, so that's the basically observing
Right.
points of interest in an object. So that's all. And then P for shapes, perspective, and proportion.
Wow,
You need to draw things,
amazing.
so it's
Okay.
very basic. E for emphasis. In future sessions, and we'll talk about shades and shadows.
Right.
And N for nanos, the small things, the details. We go into that. So it's just a very basic starter. That's level 1, and then we have level 2, and then level 3.
Is this something you came up with, or you copied from somebody?
I mean, learning through all this and my own,
Right.
I kind of curate my own experience and
Well
journey.
done. That deserves a clap. Right, well done. I like that. I might steal that.
Sure, go ahead.
So we got recorded, so we know where it came from. Okay, so that's on membership. Both you as part of urban sketching community, but also you are, I guess, volunteering or maybe even in some way leading this SALT group and so on, and maybe other groups that you're part of. Okay, good. So my suggestion, like you said, it's always good to be socially connected and then be able to be accountable in some way, but also spurring each other on along the journey of creative development, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So that's the second point on membership, and the third one, MAMEMI, right? AEI, mind, is where we are talking about how did you consider the development of your creative mind, where you are and where would you like to go?
Right. Okay. Where am I right now? Okay, it's I would say that it's a discovery by accident also, because I was just telling the group this morning that all children, you don't have to teach them how to play. Every child, they know how to play. They're just finding ways to play. And somehow along the way, as you grow older, you kind of like forget how to play. So we need, I like you when you say let's go out to play.
So important.
Right?
Yes.
Right. So same for sketching. Most of them will say that I do not know how to sketch. I don't know how to draw. I say, is that really true? Maybe we can put that to the test. And then at the end, they realize that they can. Of course, the question is how good you are, how good you want to be. But everybody is able to draw, sketch as a form of communication, language, and seeing. So I think that's the starting point, right? So, for me, the same. I sit down at the garden one day, that pandemic situation, and I felt that there's a need to, as a pastor, the world is changing, and that during those years, the world is under like a shock. Our countries, our nation, society, and small little communities. The church is basically a small community. My church is about 100 plus people. As a shepherd and leader of the church, to be able to help people through that kind of very unprecedented time is stressful. I'll be very honest.
I can understand. Because you're caring for the person.
Exactly.
And the person is going through tremendous stress because of the changes. The war, although it's not here, but we are still part of the world. We're not out of it, right? So. The war clearly impacts us to a large extent actually. Inflation and all that, all attributable to that. But we're not talking about politics. We're going back to our art. So it's nice to hear about. But where do you, at this point, maybe are you working on some development, something that you're still pursuing to improve on? What would that be? What would those be?
Just to backtrack, just continue from there. Right? So I find that at that time, art doing this, the starting point is that it's therapeutic. For me, it's therapeutic. It's a way, and I believe that is also for others. It can be therapeutic.
Me.
Right? Exactly.
Absolutely.
So we kind of take that from there, share it with others, and moving forward, the whole process to continue to grow. Of course, not just from a therapeutic point of view, but growing forward. How in terms of skills, in terms of this language of communication. I think to me. I started off with very straight, fine lines, and that's me. It's so hard to break away from that. Of course, there's a way to communicate through those lines, but moving forward, I'm exploring to be a bit more loose with my line, looser with my lines, more expressive in terms of the splashes, minimum, also minimalist approach.
I'm writing a book on that.
Okay, great.
I'm halfway through it. It's called How to Be More Loose.
Yes.
Yeah, but actually we are all starting always tight. Well, that's the nature of the beast, right?
But it's very hard for me to. I'm an accountant. Every cents need to balance. Then I became an auditor, so a bit better, 5% difference of mine. Now I find that I'm challenged to even go further. So that's one in terms of the sketching bit, the skill bit. But the other part in terms of also going into a bit more like journaling.
Yeah.
Instead of just drawing an object, to go into a storyline, narrative, journaling, traveling journaling, things like that.
Yep.
So I wish to develop in that direction. And
Yep.
maybe changing some of the tools, trying to start using things like a mop brush,
Yep.
which is a bit more, so yes, something for this year.
No, so actually the reason why I like my 5M model is when you are in a rut, right? You can do 5 things to tweak to get out of the rut. You can change the material.
Yep.
You can change your kakis. Go sketch with a different group. The food sketching or the cafe sketching, or you change. Maybe you go and sketch with let's say the live drawing, or maybe you join the Creative Singapore where they do other sort of creative activities. Mine, read a new book in a new direction.
Okay.
Learn something that you'll never really be comfortable. If you've never done figures, put figures into your sketches. If you're not used with food, do some food. If you're not used to architecture, do some architecture. If you're not used to plant or flowers, do more. Something that is completely out of your comfort zone, right? And then motivation, find a different motivation.
Right.
It pushes you a different angle.
New direction.
Correct. And finally, the muscles is your practice. You may have always started with pencil, or maybe you don't start with pencil, you start with pen. Then you use a different muscle. Draw with your left hand, or maybe even use a different material to change the way, or resequence it. So instead of drawing color draw. Right? Or change the recipe, change your processes, change the muscle behavior, right? So these 5 is a world of exploration that we can. I mean, that's my theory.
That's sounds like your adult learning architecture.
That's what it is. Thanks for reading my book. So that's my first book I published in 2016, right? So So these 5 are actually a world, and actually I use it, and I find that I don't have enough time because I got so many things I want to try, and I've a list of things I just want to try, but I haven't got around to it. You know what I mean?
How old are you now?
I'm 54.
Still have time.
I hope God will give me a bit more time to to serve others. All right, so we are at the mind, and now the next one is AEIO is motivation.
Right. Okay.
MO motivation. So the question I have for you is, what did your motivation change, or is it still the same? And what is it actually? Can you articulate clearer for us? What motivation drives your art?
As I said, first started is more yourself, right? The therapeutic part. You're trying to help yourself go through those circumstances in your job, your life, and things like that. So that is the starting point. And discovering that those external stimulus bring out something that is inside, right? That is you. So you develop. So nurture brings out what is in the nature. If it's there, something's drawing, things like that. But moving forward, as I get engaged with the various community and see the possibilities that are there, and that's why community is so important. The relationship, and now I think that the key word for me is service in action.
Love it.
Service.
Sounds like Lawrence Wong.
Sounds like IB.
Sounds like our incoming Prime Minister.
I think that helps in your development, in my development, because it's only when you start seeing, like for example, this morning, just coaching others, and then I begin to realize that what is lacking in myself. What do I need to be learning? Fresh things, like you say, instead of drawing with your right hand, left hand, maybe drawing with your toes. Holding.
It could be,
the things that you start going, trying out new things, new medium, for me, I look forward to changing even my papers in order to achieve those things, to start exploring other things. So these are pushing me forward in some other direction. Of course, time is a big factor. We'll come to that, I think. How much time do you really invest in it? So I this morning I was just sharing the group that you just need 3 P's. Firstly, you just need the passion. You need to fuel that passion. But with passion, you need to be patient. Because it takes time to develop, to ground some of these skills, and then to develop them. But also then to persevere in those things. Do not cut short. So I noticed that in the last 1 years, just taking some of these seniors around, some in a sense stop short. The potential are there, but then they look at the drawing and say, that's not good, I can't get there, I can't draw like you, I can't draw like you, and that's it. Then they kind of like stop. I think it's kind of like
a bit premature.
Premature. But those who persevered in the last 1 years, you see, wow, they have made progress. However, the progress is. And the main thing is that they're happy. They're happy doing what they're doing. They're able to express themselves. And I think it's the same for us. For me, the motivation and how do we move forward?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think what you describe is so true, because sometimes you do one sketch and you've never sketched before and you say, oh, it's so bad. You are saying as if you have the right to sketch well by being born.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, no one has that right. No one should have that right in the first place.
Yeah.
You haven't put in the effort, or at least put in, a week. Let's say draw 100 drawings, at least 100 drawings is not a lot. I mean, in the scheme of things.
100 figure drawing.
Yeah. But I also find that most of the time, people they do too many different things every single time, right? They change the material too often. They sketch different things too often, and there's just and every time it's the first time, and every first time is never going to be any good anyway. So
it's the same as job, right? You can be 20 years experience, but you're just doing 1 year in each of the jobs.
That's right.
Just jumping from one job to another.
You're not going to be very good, in that sense. So persistence, perseverance,
patience, and things like that. And I think there's one more thing is also as you're talking, as they begin to learn, I think what is important is mistakes, learning from mistakes. Right? I think same for myself. Sometimes it's easy to say, oh, it's mistakes, so I tear away the page. That's the first thing. So when you do the sketchbook, right, you show people and say, oh, okay, maybe I should cut it out. But I think it's okay to leave it inside.
I have given, I understand what you're saying. You live with it because it's not about right or wrong. It's little happy accidents, and it's life. And we are not showing art like Picasso's art in the museum. I mean, we can talk, okay, let's not go there. But the point is that little mistakes is part of life, and we should absorb it as part of the learnings. And and actually, like Bob Ross says, there's never mistakes. There are happy little accidents. And that's okay.
So learn from it.
Learn from it. Thank you for that. So last M is muscle, right? AEIOU, muscle. Muscle is about how do you develop the muscles of art. And there, it's about practice, discipline, and so on. So my question is, what is your diary? Do you draw every day? Do you draw every week? Do you draw once a month? What is your muscles development? It's like going to gym. What is your gym routine, if you like?
I think for a start, it has to be sustainable. It's sustainable enough that I can see that there's progress. Right. So not because time, with work and things like that, there's just not enough time to do everything.
Absolutely.
Families and things like that. So I think anchoring to all these events, community events, I think that gives you the sense of anchoring that that every month the USK is meeting. So make every effort to turn up and be with the community, to learn and draw and sketch together. Then of course the ICHOU meets every week, and try to join them if you can. Of course the SWOT ministry thing. So that's in terms of external incentive to keep practicing. I used to say, tell myself, okay, maybe at least one per week. On my day off, right? So I'm not being able to keep that up because there's so many other things, right? So I start to say, okay, maybe I need not be so rigid as in just on a day off. If I can, I try to do that. But then I start bringing my sketchbook everywhere.
You sketch everywhere.
Which means I say, okay, so I can now add on a new way of doing whenever I have a short break somewhere, that's just the other day, waiting for library to open, warm up. And just sketch. Those are the moments you see things happen and you just stop. You can afford the time, you just pause in between meetings and things like that and just sketch. Whatever the quality doesn't matter, right? So just sketch to get your hand going. And I think every little bit adds to this whole scheme of practicing and working on it.
So instead of having a schedule, now is slot in whenever you find a little bit of time here. Then it's spread out through your entire week, so to speak.
Exactly.
Very good, very good. So, and that's also part of like little exercises you do, like armchair yoga or some kind of whenever you're seated watching TV, you do a bit of exercise like dumbbell, dumbbell. Okay. So thank you very much for that. So we know that it is possible not to necessarily pin down on your diary, but you can sketch anytime, anywhere, as long as you have your sketchbook and your pen with you, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, good. Next question I have is notes to self.
Right.
If you were given a chance to send a little postcard to yourself to the time when you started sketching, you can define when that is, and the little postcard has a ability to write 1, 2, 3 notes. Okay, what would those advice to yourself be, and when would that be?
Right. I would say the first thing that I would have said I would have started earlier. Just start earlier, you know. It's like, it's not about time lost, but just sense that there's this whole positive benefits of doing it. And if you can start earlier, that's the best. And of course, what stops you from from starting earlier is because of course, sometimes fear of just picking up a pen, fear of drawing in a community out there. And I think the second point I write myself is to you know the communities around. They're all starters at some point.
Absolutely.
So I would say that start as early as you can and start with a community, right? And that is the most important experience. Of course, going back to my third thing is that then start serving with it. It can be not necessarily coaching or teaching, but it's just talking to someone, exchanging notes. And I think those experiences are what goes into your sketchbook. When you look at a certain sketch, you remember a certain conversation. You remember something that happened on that day itself. And I think those are the things that goes down to the memory lane of your sketchbooks.
It's like a journal actually.
Exactly. I would say, start early. The moment you realize it, why not just start?
Actually, that goes for all learnings in life in many ways. The more you procrastinate, the more opportunity lost. Right? So start early. Very good. Thank you very much. So I want to thank Benson for the opportunity for the chit-chat. I hope the audience learned something from this episode. I haven't done many podcasts lately, been very, very busy. I'm working on books at the moment, so you will see a bunch of books that I'll be launching in the next weeks or in the coming weeks. So thank you for watching. Benson, any last words for the audience around the world?
Come join us and start sketching.
Just go.
Okay, so this is my very first, in a sense, sketchbook, former sketchbook, Stillman and Burns Alpha series. And I started this during the pandemic, so I wrote a note here just describing what this sketchbook is about, capturing all the experiences. And I remember Joy was the one, right? Was it Joyce? Joyce, right? Was the one who started this 28-day sketching challenge. And I remember that was a good exercise that started me sketching whatever that I see.
Daily sketch challenge.
I remember that, every day what I see around. This is downstairs, plant that is still blooming. Everywhere is so moody. The bicycles are parked there, nobody used during the pandemic. And this is every day I fetch a school, my daughter, this at Bishan, near my house. We went to the park. This is like a tree, fallen leaf. And then because I do a lot of running, every day I wake up early, I look up, the flat, the branches and things like that. It's still dawn, so I capture this. This is a maid waiting for children at school.
Color pencil?
Watercolor. Watercolor pencil. I started off also using watercolor pencil to explore that. Right. So the maid waiting, I saw her so often every day. So this is my cup. Every day sitting at the table. I went for a run with my son. Some of these things. This is about running. So first medal that I ever get from virtual running. Conqueror. Right. This is Athens. This is Sengkang Park. Near my place. So again, this watercolor pencil. I first started. And this crab. Also, I think Punggol Promenade, there's this seafood place. House of Seafood. So I run into this crab all the time. So I say, I must sketch you. This is a sketch of myself.
What good memories.
Drink, these are the nice little drinks that you have. And this is at Changi. Again, small little book. Went to Changi Beach. And so I just captured some of these. Commute by bus, empty. This is also at Changi, I think.
Right, lovely.
Little boat. Right, so these are little things that I think can be done. This is just at Everton, I think.
This one would be
somewhere, is it?
It could be Everton, or it could be at the New Road.
New Road, yes. It's just the colour that attracts me. This is at Bishan again, the rooftop of the HDB, Ang Mo Kio Park. These are some of my children's toy. They say, Dad, why don't you sketch our soft toy? I say, okay, sketch your soft toy.
Oh, so nice.
First some of the food sketches, things like that.
Nice.
So these are some, these are more recent. More recent. So this is, I think, my very first, small sketchbook.
Lots of good memory inside.
And this is my more recent one. Where I finished this, I started this. Not really finished yet, but went for this family trip. So in a sense, from where I started, progress, you see that I'm still very much into lines, neat lines and things like that. So this is at Sentosa Cove, forest.
Very nice ducks, yeah.
This is on the plane to a trip to Hanoi. So just try to sketch one of the shops, some of the maps. So it's something that I'm trying to learn how to do travel sketching.
Yep.
Yeah, journaling rather. Before I can finish this, the tour group move on. So this is done in like 15 minutes. Yeah, so hey, hang on, don't move on. This is Nimbin. This on the cruise. We colored this on the cruise. We're doing some cooking. So right across the cooking place, there's this French-looking kind of shop house.
Right.
So I sat at the window. I did this. This is a recent one. So this is a
lovely,
long way to go.
Lovely.
Yeah, I think this is where I started in terms of line work. So a bit of OCD, a lot of details and lines. So this is where I started.
Emerald Hill,
the old substation before it becomes the Singapore first city garden or something like that.
Yeah.
So this is more like a try out different kind of approaches to sketching.
Right.
This is where I got my first Fuder nib fountain pen. The
Thick and thin
heavy one, which I stopped using now. So I tried using it just to get to know the character of the pen.
You can see the tools changes the characters of the sketch. Yeah.
So this is where I started, and this is I think.
Oh, lovely.
Raffles Hotel, and some of this. This is all the
nice
mystics.
work.
All the mystics that I sit there.
There's no such as mistake. There's happy accidents.
And this is again one of the I would say OCD work. Line. So this is.
But the personality comes through as well.
Yeah.
Detailed, very very line based.
Yeah, line based. So I'm trying to break. I mean the learning objective is to break free and be more loose and expressive.
Yes.
So this is where I started a bit more into trying out different ways of sketching. I think this is could be a project that Singapore Sketchers, right? Or the old time building from Tekka Market. Tekka Market. National Theatres. Try out Folk Key.
A bit from history.
Yeah, from history. I think this is Bakwa, Chinese New Year.
Bakwa.
Yeah, so not everything are on-site sketching. Some of these are from photos.
That's okay.
Yeah. This is the one that. Yeah, this is the one that during the pandemic, the death of Queen Elizabeth II. So Balmoral. So I decided that maybe I should do one of this. So this is sketched from a photo online. So after I've done that, I sort of like, hey, maybe I should try out just focus on shades and shadows, just monochrome. So this is what I did. Something like
Balmoral Castle.
Yeah.
Right.
So just trying out toner work.
Right.
Yeah.
Value work,
studies. Value study.
Yeah.
So I hope to do a little more of this moving forward. Yeah, this is also Balmoral.
You got some really good work, Benson. I don't think you post everything though.
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah.
This is on a trip to Thailand where we are doing serving a orphanage.
Right.
So in between times, I kind of sat
it's like a mission
around.
trip. Or
Yeah, mission trip. Sit around and say, okay, why don't sketch some on the missions quarter, right? So this is a missions quarter. Looking up on they call this the Sakura of Thailand. Thailand Taikura, This is around March.
Interesting. I learned something.
So this is I think living quarters of the orphans. This is a missions house with the hills behind. So in the evening we'll go run the hills, training. So this is
excellent.
Thank you. Sketchbook. Where am I? I think this is the last. I think, or rather, what I'm using right now. Trying to learn how to sketch figures. It's a bit out of shape.
So I see improvement on the figure sketching. It's quite accurate now.
A bit funny
very
looking, for a start, but you just keep
good.
pressing on and
Exactly.
katong, and then start pressing on. By the way, some of these people I can still remember who they are. Write down their names. Round up.
Nice.
So some of these things. This is in Malacca. We're on a camp.
Right.
So what attracted me is really the old style antenna. That
you don't see
have
that
it. Not in Singapore anymore.
Yeah.
So I capture that. This is on a cruise holiday with the family. sat around,
Nice.
and really good because you have a lot of international tourists.
Yep.
You sit around, you sketch, and they come and engage you and talk to you, and I think that's where your conversation begins.
Yeah.
Trying
It's
to-
such joy when you can even talk deeply about simple things.
Yeah. So this is National Day last year, sketching some of the sketches. You see, this is one of the things that mistake living
Or
inside.
half done, but it's okay. It's part of life.
It's just wrong, get it again, still wrong. And then finally, decided to capture this. Yeah, one
Some
of the
sweet woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Hill Market. Yeah.
sketches.
Excellent.
Yeah, this is more recent. Yeah, this is where I test out new way of, like you say,
Yeah.
sketch paint or paint sketch. So this is where I started just splashing the different
Splashing.
colors
Splash, then sketch.
and then
Yeah.
sketch the outline, and then
Yeah, it
using
gives you
pen
different
work.
results.
Yeah,
And then you put a shadow after that, right?
yeah. So I kind of like want
Nice.
to try doing this. This Toa Payoh swimming pool recently. This is also a recent one. Trying out some food sketching.
Those you do a lot of food, but that could be one area exploration.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this most recent at Toa Payoh.
Yes, the Toa Payoh Garden Park.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
this is the most recent Toa Payoh Garden Park. Yeah,
Right, thank you very much.
yeah, that's
Thank
all.
you.